Falter over Cordia, you're welcome indeed to another edition of the Irish at Home and Abroad. Now later on in the programme I'll be taking the pilgrimage walk from Bal to Knock Shrine. And don't forget, Martin Logan is standing by in Manchester once again with some more great stories featuring the Irish community in the UK. But first, I went along to Brayfleet House, where Mayo County Council recently hosted a business network evening to welcome the Mayor of Warwick and a high delegation from Rhode Island in America, with the aim of strengthening business and economic ties between Mayo and Rhode Island.
This is a very historic evening for County Mayo, Roscommon and Sligo, and that because we have a collaboration going on with Rhode Island in relation to the Enterprise Centre in Rhode Island, which is used by all of the western counties who contribute to it.
Peter, how important is this collaboration between Rhode Island and County Mayo?
Henry, it could be phenomenally important. It's a relationship that we've been building up over the past 4 years at this stage. Governor Chafee, we met in Rhode Island on one of our delegations there back in 2013. He came here in the early part of 2014, and then our Taoiseach at the time, Kenny, went out to Rhode Island. Then the idea of the International Ireland West Trade Centre, which is a collaboration of 6 local authorities on the West Coast, which was the initiative of Joanne Graham and John McGee, and they've piloted it from our side. And I don't know if you've met JR yet, but you will, and Richard Pinto on the Rhode Island side. They made it all happen. We've had our base out there for a little while. It was launched officially in May of this year. We have flights, unfortunately not to Knock yet, but hopefully in the future. That may happen too. So there is a connection, very direct connection, and today saw the second stage, which is the opening of the Rhode Island Centre here in Castlebar and Mayo. And in the future, we need to be looking to a whole lot of different places to make up the gaps in the market that will be exposed by Brexit. There's already been business done by Irish companies, small and medium-sized, not huge companies, who need a place in Rhode Island where you can get off, have a friendly face, have an office that you can use for a day or 2 days, coordinate some meetings and explore the possibilities, and they are huge.
Is this where Mayo County Council and the Enterprise Board are looking out beyond UK to America now to get investment for the rest of Ireland?
I'm glad you asked that one because, as you know yourself and as people know in general, and the Americans are very they are very interested in the fact that we are going to be the only English-speaking country in the EU, and it's going to be a lot easier to do business with us in Ireland than it is going to be with any other country in Europe for that basic reason.
And you were very involved with this project from the early days.
I was, in the sense that Governor Chafee came here in May of 2014. I went back out as Taoiseach with the trade delegation in September of 2014. A lot of engagement in between, memorandum of understanding signed, eventually getting the opportunity to have a number of local authorities invest in a trade unit in Providence, Rhode Island. And that's now been replicated here for all the local authorities, but based in Castlebar, central to the entire location. But the revolution has happened, Henry, in that Norwegian were given approval by the authorities in the United States and from Europe to fly into the States, and they will do for long-haul flight what Ryanair did for short-haul flight over the many years.
But will we see them in Knock Airport?
Well, the point is they've chosen 4 at the moment: Belfast, Dublin, Cork and Shannon. But I think the case for Knock is really outstanding here, because you've got 1.5 million people in the greater hinterland, and of those last year, 120,000 would have travelled to Dublin or to Shannon to fly to America. So clearly, with the diaspora from Donegal right down to Galway, very much akin to this part of America, here's a real opportunity to expand this, and I can see that happening.
First and foremost, we know that the new direct flights on Norwegian Air from T.F. Green Airport in Warwick, Rhode Island, to Shannon, Dublin, Belfast, and Cork are a game changer for our airport. So that began the discussion of who are our strategic partners? You know, we don't want people to just think, okay, now I can go and take a vacation. No, it's more than that. This is an opportunity for us to import services and goods and intellectual capacity and educational opportunities. So we started really thinking about who are the different people that we need to bring in. In the interim, the West Ireland Trade Center had already opened in Providence, and working with them saying, how can we use this new direct flight to everyone's advantage? I found out that they were going to be opening, as we did earlier today, the Rhode Island Trade Center here and Trade and Tourism Center here in Castlebar. And so then it made sense, since there was already a delegation from Rhode Island coming here for tourism and leisure planning, to do a little bit of that, but really come here and focus on business development and things that we could do while we were here. Tomorrow morning we'll be going to NOC, and we'll be putting our case forward. And as the former Prime Minister just told me, he said, you can't ask for anything that can't be given, and go in there and do your pitch. And even if we start seasonally and we say, let's try it and let's see how we make it work, we think that there's a good opportunity for us to be able to capture the things that have already been happening that are so good and turn it into even better stuff for the future.
Research has shown one of the big challenges to doing business in the US is getting on that first aeroplane, getting out there and making that first contact. So crucially, the centre in Providence allows our small businesses from the participating counties. It was led by Mayo, but crucially with partners in Sligo, Leitrim, Roscommon, Clare and Galway. We're all working together. We're giving our small businesses the opportunity to set foot for the first time into the US market. So it gives them a US address, a US email address, phone number, and crucially also through our partners in Fabiani Pinto, it allows us to tap into their industry-wide knowledge, their extensive range of contacts, and allow us to make meaningful introductions and business development links for our participating companies. So when we saw the potential associated with it, we were absolutely enthused and remain so.
I come from a long career in the construction field in Rhode Island, and was very much involved in the first offshore wind project in the history of the United States, from the permitting stage right through the construction completion. And I find much similarity here in Ireland to where Rhode Island was a couple of years ago, and that there were no offshore wind turbines.
And where do you see the opportunities in Mayo, like, for instance?
I see a huge opportunity in just a short amount of time in the west coast of Ireland. Your continental shelf is shallow and goes out a long way. You've spent a lot of money on infrastructure on the grid over the last few years here in the west coast. You've got a coal-fired power plant in Money Point that's going to be shutting down, so it's an easy tie-in. You could bring a cable right in through the estuary, and we all know Ireland's got plenty of wind, especially if you play golf here.
So what's your next move now from
To go back to report to the people that did a lot of the work in Rhode Island on the Block Island project, and try to express to them what I think is an opportunity. When they found out I was going here, they said there's no offshore wind there. And now we're going to try to figure out why that is.
And if it happens, what will that mean to the west of Ireland then, if this project gets off?
Huge amount of jobs, a huge amount of jobs, and good paying jobs, and green ecology, save the environment. And what we found in just 2 years of having the foundations in the water off of Block Island is, as they predicted, the fish life has has coerced around that area. The recreational fishermen are catching a lot of stripers out there around those foundations.
The connections that we have from Mayo into the States and into all corners of the States are one of the ways that we need to be expanding business opportunities and employment in the west of Ireland. This is definitely one of the avenues that we need to explore very thoroughly. I wouldn't have believed the kind of opportunities that are out there. Would you have believed that it's possible for a company that manufactures high quality, high-end fitted furniture to do business into the northeast corner of the United States. I wouldn't have thought that was a likely place to go, but it's being done, has been done. Monaghan Brothers are testament to that.
There's a continued process of building those, those reciprocal links between the two regions. But crucially, we're very, very focused on the opportunity for the small business. So we have had a tranche of companies that have come through the centre and used the centre in Providence, and we need more businesses. So we're appealing for more businesses who are interested in getting into the US market to come and talk to us, and we can help. We will help you get out there. We'll make some initial introductions. So crucially, the next step is more businesses availing of the opportunity.
And is there a particular type of business you're looking for?
There isn't really. We honestly, we have everything from craft businesses, we have brewers, we have manufacturing businesses, we have technology companies, and effectively everything in between. So crucially, if you have a strong product, and when you go out there, if it's price competitive and it stands up very high in terms of quality, then we're finding that those businesses across all sectors are doing very, very well.
Well done to everybody there involved in that project. A great evening indeed at Brafey House Hotel. Time for us to take a commercial break. Join us in a couple of minutes and I'll be taking the pilgrimage walk from Bal to Knock Shrine. Well, it's 1 a.m. in the morning and I've arrived in the town of Bal, where a pilgrim walk is about to get underway to Knock Shrine, which is a distance of about 20 kilometres. And I'm going to meet Michael Sloyne, the organiser of the event. Michael, why are you undertaking this walk?
Well, Henry, 2 years ago, the walking group that I run, the Eastmere Ramblers, decided that we were going to revive the old tradition of walking to Knock on the eve and on the morning of the 15th of August. So we organised a walk 2 years ago. 50 people walked, 25 from here and 25 from the patrician site at Carnaden in Ahamore. As you know, the Croagh-Patrick Heritage Trail has now been extended from Bal to Knock and on to Ahamore. So this year we decided we'd do the Bal walk from the Blessed Well here, and we'd also do a second walk from the grave of one of the witnesses in Bacon Cemetery, which is my parish, a 10k walk into Knock, because we felt that there wasn't enough emphasis on the witnesses. So we got agreement from Knock and we got help from Knock, and we're here tonight now hoping that a huge crowd will turn out, and they're already beginning to gather.
So how long will it take you to do this walk, and how long is it?
Well, I would say it would take 3.5 hours to walk the 20 kilometres. We have a pit stop in between at Culchimo Old School where they can use the facilities. The other walk will take probably 2.5 hours because we're deviating to the homestead of Catherine Murray, who was the witness. And so we expect everybody to converge at the shrine in Knock at around 5:30.
And then when you get there, what's going to happen?
When we get there, we will attend the 6:30 Mass. We'll gather outside the shrine, the apparition chapel after Mass, and mingle and take some photographs, and then we're going to head for refreshments and the rest and care in Knock. We have all that are organised, and then we have buses organised to take the walkers back to their cars here in Bal and back to their cars in Bacon.
And this pilgrimage walk is very much in line with your development plan for tourism in Mayo.
It is, of course, yeah. Look, we're trying to do a whole number of things, but walking is one of them. And I suppose this is a new addition to kind of the whole schedule of stuff that we're developing here in the county. Traditionally, there was the Croagh-Patrick Heritage Trail, which is a 61-kilometre trail that extends from Bal here all the way over to Croagh-Patrick. And there last year, the local community had come to us and they wanted to extend it into Knock because they wanted to link Croagh-Patrick and Knock and make it a 4-day walking experience. So that's adding another 20 kilometres to the route. So we have an entire route of 81 kilometres. So now we're at the stage we can offer a 4-day walking package and even possibly a 5-day walking package if you're allowed to climb the Reek on the day. But this whole kind of nighttime walking for the 15th of August back into Knock, it was there originally, but it's kind of been brought back again. And I think this is year 3 of it. And you can see it's grown in popularity, and we'd like to try and build on that and encourage kind of the pilgrimage visitor into the county, but also even people that are into the heritage and the culture and all that, because this trail has all of that in abundance. But I'm looking forward to actually participating in the route here tonight. It's definitely something different for me because we're used to walking during the day, so it'll be great to go out with all the crew here and join in the camaraderie and arrive in Knock, 6:30 in the morning. For the annual 15th of August, which is the start of the pilgrimage in Knock. So yeah, we look forward to that, definitely.
Two years ago, a small group decided to do this walk, and they enjoyed it, and they found it very beneficial to themselves, and from a pilgrimage point of view, but also from recognising some of the beautiful amenities that we have in the area. And in the past year, we have renovated the old Blessed Well here in Ball, which was the traditional place of pilgrimage in Mayo before the apparition in Knock. So tonight's tonight's pilgrimage, is kind of linking the two pilgrimage sites, the Blessed Well site in Ball with the National Marian Shrine now of Knock, and honouring Our Lady on the feast day of the Assumption.
And of course, this particular month and this week, the annual pilgrimage to Knock in August, it draws a lot of people from all over the country.
It does. People come from all over the country and indeed abroad. And of course, tomorrow, the 15th, of course, is a traditional, very big day there. But earlier there today, I was there myself hearing my confessions, and there was a very big crowd there. And it's something that resonates with people, and I know some people from the locality here and others I've met in Knock from other parts of the country, they build part of their summer around that, and they like to come to Knock. They may not do all 9 days, they do a number of the days there, and they may be taking a holiday in the area as well. Sometimes go off to places like Westport for the morning and come back to Knock for the afternoon. So it's kind of a holiday come pilgrimage, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Finally, I have a little bit of advice for all the walkers now at this hour of the morning heading off on this special pilgrimage walk to Knock.
Well, obviously to be careful. They're travelling mainly on the roads and some side roads during the night, so to be careful, and also to be conscious of helping one another. I know myself, when I was involved in the Crowpatrick pilgrimage, climbing the mountain many times, you'd meet other people there, and they tell you you're nearly there and you might only be halfway up. So to encourage one another, some will find it easier than others, of course, so to encourage one another and to remember that together they are doing it together, and they're doing it together in friendship. They're also doing it as pilgrimage, and some of them doing it remembering others. So we're all united. Even if those who are going back to our beds now, we might still even say a prayer for them at some stage if we wake during the night.
We only set up this walk really we're working on it about the last 3 years, and we had many meetings in Knock. They wanted to join up with the Toha Valley walk, or the walk from here, the Heritage Trail from Bell to Crowpatrick. So there was 5 of us that operated on it, which Father Patrick Buckner was in Westport, but he was with us, and we got it going. So last Easter 12 months, they had the first walk from Knock. They did it in 2 days. They came halfway the first day, and they did it the other part to it in the second day. And it's only really now that we have it all put together and it's all marked and it's all joined up together now, and we intend to go further with it.
Yeah, I was going to say,
to go to Knock Airport and on, that they can get off the plane and walk to Crowpatrick, right?
And of course, this in Ball here was well known for pilgrims to stop off on their annual journey to Knock.
That's why we have the rest house, which we have repaired just now, and we have railings just put round it last week, and we have photographs up there to show where the pilgrim is, and it was the rest house. They come and they stay there and stay on the way back again, and it showed a lot of people on these old photographs that we have.
Now, our walkers set off from Bal along the pilgrim path at 1:30 this morning. They're expected to arrive here in the next couple of minutes, which is about 6 a.m. now in the morning. Father, the annual novena, a very, very busy time here at Knock Shrine.
Extremely busy. We're, thank God, good for it. From the 14th to the 22nd, we have thousands of people come every right throughout the course of the novena itself, and it's the highlight really for Knock. You could say it's our All Ireland. So it's a very busy time. People from all over, not over the country, but also all over the world, and various different speakers and workshops and seminars that we have here for people when they come.
Well, it's one of the most popular destinations in Ireland. You have big plans for Knock as well.
We do. This year in 2017, we're coming to the conclusion of our Witness to Hope project, which was an outstanding success. We have about $750,000 to raise on that. It's a €14 million project. So we've raised 13.3, and please God, we will finish that out by the end of this year. And then there'll be other projects then coming down along the track as well. But it's important that when we start something, we'll say we do it, we pay for it, and we move on then to the next. That's very important, because something that keeps going on and on and on doesn't connect with people at all. So it's been very, very successful, and here's to the next few projects that will go down the line.
And you're doing tremendous here as parish priest here at Knock.
Well, I can only follow in the footsteps of the greats.
We set out from Bacon about 3:30, and we took in the birthplace of the visionary Catherine Murray. Conditions were absolutely ideal. We couldn't have asked for better weather for the walk.
How long did it take you to do the walk?
About 2 hours. We had to stop along the way at the birthplace, as I said, of the visionary Catherine Murray, where we recited a couple of decades of the Rosary, and we explained to people who didn't know the area the significance of the place.
Would you like to see more people getting involved in the Pilgrim's Walk?
We would indeed, yes, because I feel our generation have an onus on us to pass on these values and the history of the place.
It's really reviving something that was dying out, partly because people didn't like walking on national primary routes anymore. It was dangerous. So we are taking the Boreans and the byroads, sort of a throwback to ancient times. No cross-country or no off-road, but Boreans and byroads.
And if people want to get more information about these trails, how do they go about it?
Yeah, no, we have a dedicated website, mayowalks.ie, and it has all of the various trails listed, whether it's the loop walks or the linear trail or even this trail, the Croagh-Patrick Heritage Trail. It's all available there. You can look it up, and you can look at the distances and the terrain, download the maps, and away you go. So yeah, no, it's a good platform to get the information that's required.
Well, what a great initiative there, and I've no doubt these walking trails will gather momentum. Now, don't forget, coming up after the break, we'll be crossing over to join Martin Logan in Manchester to find out all that's happening with the Irish community in the UK. So until next week, slán go fóill.